Hi everyone, it's Toya, and you're watching a new video from the series Story and Lesson. Today's story is different and a little heartbreaking, but it carries a big, powerful lesson. And this time, we're diving into They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. They Both Die at the End, a human story about facing death and embracing life. Imagine waking up to a call or a message saying, "This is the last day of your life." You can't run, you can't change your fate. The only choice you have is how you're going to live this day. And that was the beginning of Mateo and Rufus's story, and They Both Die at the End. The story follows two complete strangers, Rufus Emeterio and Mateo Torres. Mateo is shy and introverted, his whole life built on excessive caution. Afraid of new experiences, afraid of people, even afraid to truly live. Rufus, on the other hand, is the complete opposite, bold, adventurous, but carrying a deep pain after losing his family. Two very different people brought together by one thing. They both receive a call from Deathcast, a service that tells people the exact day they will die, just hours before it happens. Today is their last day to live. And here comes the first big question. Is knowledge power? If you knew this was your last day, would you live boldly or surrender to fear? Mateo represents so many of us. We live as if we have endless time until death gets close, and only then do we realize how many days we've wasted without meaning. Mateo and Rufus meet through an app called Last Friend, a platform connecting people who are dying on the same day. And this is the first human lesson in the story. Even at the very end, you might meet someone who changes the way you see life. In just a few hours, two strangers form a bond deeper than relationships that take years. That day was the first time Mateo truly stepped out of his shell. The first time he ran in the rain, rode a bike fast, laughed out loud, even confessed his feelings without fear. As Adam Silvera reminds us, we're not so much afraid of dying, we're afraid of truly living. The book hits you when you realize, sometimes we wait for the very last moment to finally be brave. Mateo and Rufus shared a short but deeply honest love in just one day. Not a grand, epic romance, but a kind that teaches us. Hearts can open up even when there's no tomorrow. As the story beautifully suggests, love isn't about how long it lasts, it's about how real it is. The book doesn't present death as something terrifying, but as a truth that forces us to be honest with ourselves. The real enemy is wasting life, spending days waiting, being too afraid to live. If Mateo hadn't known he was going to die, he would have kept living a life trapped in fear. Strangely enough, death is what saved him from a life that wasn't really a life at all. The title says it all. They both die at the end, and yet, as you read, you hold on to that tiny hope that maybe, somehow, they'll survive. That's what makes it so deeply human. We know the ending is inevitable, but we still cling to hope. The lessons this story leaves behind. 1. Life isn't guaranteed, don't wait for tomorrow to live. The story screams this truth. We keep postponing everything, dreams, love, words we need to say. Mateo spent his whole life afraid, until he was forced to face that there was no tomorrow. The lesson. If there's something you need to say or do it now. There's no guarantee you'll get another chance. Time is the most precious thing we have, and knowing it's limited makes it even more valuable. 2. Being honest with yourself is true courage. On their last day, they dropped all masks. Sometimes we're scared to be our real selves because we fear judgment or failure. But the story teaches that facing yourself is the highest form of freedom. 3. Impact isn't measured in years. You don't need decades to leave a mark, sometimes one day is enough. Mateo and Rufus only had one day, yet they changed each other's lives and even touched others around them. A kind word, a human moment, or a sincere smile can live forever in someone's heart. 4. Love in a moment of truth. The story proves that deep human connections don't need years to form, just honesty and presence. 5. Death isn't the real enemy, not living is. The whole philosophy of the book revolves around this idea. Death is inevitable, but living is a choice we often avoid. Death reveals who we are, it strips away the masks and makes everything real. 6. Hope is part of being human, even when we know the truth. Even when the title itself tells us they'll die, we still cling to hope they might survive. That's the beauty of our nature. We hold on to hope, no matter how small. In the end, they both die at the end. Isn't a story about death, it's a story about life. It reminds us we don't need a call from Deathcast to start living fully or to tell people we love how much they matter. Because the only truth is, we're all going to die eventually, but not all of us truly live.